I'm so excited! It's here, it's here, it's here! I am on a June no spin challenge, so it's a good thing I bought this in May. Oh yeah. Let's get into it. Here we go. Ta-da! And ta-da! Alright, there's watercolor dust in this paper already. Here they are! Aren't they gorgeous? Okay, they're not really gorgeous, but I have a great idea! We're gonna do so much fun things with these, though. Still have a partially broken hand. Oh, look, it's 10 and it's separated, and I can put my own pans in there. The inside's in great shape. Outside's not bad either. Bottom's in pretty bad shape. Look at this one. So this used to have some stickers on it. Not sure if that'll come off. Maybe a glue gun. Try it out. Bottom's in good shape. Let's see what's inside. Ah, there's still paint in this one. Okay, little pans, and they put extra pans in here. Oh, and they're metal. So this one, if I can get that sticker glue off, I might just clean this one up and leave it as it is and use it. These old Prang watercolors are pretty decent, actually. Boy, it's too bad because that one's pretty cool, but I have such a fun idea for these. You're gonna love it, I hope. Been a couple of weeks since I filmed that intro, and kind of as I suspected, I am in love with the tins kind of as they are, but my brilliant idea for them was to use the marbling that I used in this video here, and I'll link it in the description as well, and cover these with marbling. But the tins themselves are already just so cool that it seems like a shame to cover them up. Now this one does have a little bit of, I don't know, rust or starting rust, but I still really like it the way it is. So I thought maybe I would marble this one because it's very boring. You can still do marbling on a palette, but for these, I think I'm going to clean them up. This is sticky stuff. I thought I had Goo Gone, but couldn't find any, but I did find this stuff. I'll try it. I don't know if it'll get this off. It's probably super old tape, but we'll see. And then I will clean up the insides and set them up the way I want them. This is paint that I'm going to keep for now, and you'll see what I get to do with this one. Let's see what they look like all cleaned up, and if I can get this sticky off. Well, that was a complete failure. Are you ready for this? I'm not. Okay, look what happened. All right, so I did warn you guys in several of my videos that you could keep watching me to learn what not to do, and this just proves that point even more. This stuff just said it can't be used on plastic surfaces. It did say test it to its credit, but I didn't test it because this is tin. This paint on this poor Prang one was like butter. I put the goof off on it, and in just like a minute, I went over to see if the adhesive was softening at all, and the paint just like fell off. So I just grabbed a little fake Brillo pad, like a metal-y kind of scratchy thing you can use for some of your pots and pans, and just took the rest of the paint off. So I guess we get to marble this after all. And then on the inside, I couldn't get the pink off, so I'm not sure if maybe that was a very, very staining watercolor, or maybe they had a little bit of acrylic in here or what. And then I just scrubbed the inside with a soft sponge, real soft sponge, and some of the paint's coming off on the inside as well. So maybe this is A, old of course, but B, like just crappy paint to start with and just doesn't adhere to this metal very well. That's my best guess, but I don't know. So I may have to do something on this inside. Maybe go buy some, actually I think I have some because I was going to put it on the roof of my truck, some appliance white paint. And that is a very, kind of like a ceramic shiny feeling stuff. So maybe I will paint the inside of this with that stuff. I have to ask my son where he put it because he was going to paint my truck roof and didn't. So I had 3 sticky spots on this one, so I put a little goof off at the same time on it, and you can see that it just took the paint off there. So if I want to, I could put some more goof off on the rest of it and get all of that off and marble that, but I think I might just marble right over the top of what we have here. On the top of this, all I did was scrub it real gentle with a real soft, like a microfiber but super soft cloth on these areas to see what would happen. And even that soft cloth is taking this paint off. I might as well marble it too, but maybe I'll just leave what's already there and not try and scrub the rest off. And then I tried to clean these up, and oh my gosh, these paints, these are the ones that came in this Prang, and I assume these are the Prang paints, and they're apparently really, really soft. I was trying to get all the hair out of them. I don't know if you saw that when I opened it, but it's kind of just full of hair and gross. So I don't know if that was someone's paintbrush dying inside of there, or if they were like trimming their eyebrows over the paint pan. But anyway, I couldn't really use a lot of water because it was just eating the paint, super soft paint. And you can see here, all I did was go over this with my thumb. Look at that. Just my thumb, and this paint was coming off. It's like, oh, seriously? Foiled all the way around. And this I think had purple in it, but this was this brown one that was loose. So I kind of cleaned these up. We'll stick them back in. So I've got some prep work to do. Marbling takes a little bit of time and effort to get ready to do. And I will go find the appliance white. Here is my setup, and I have doors on each end of my art studio. So I open those because remember, this stuff is stinky. Oh, because those doors are open, you're probably going to hear lots of birds and noises because we're surrounded by lots of wild distilled water this time, because my tap water is really sulfuric. So for this one, I'm going to do silver. Now these have to be shaken an extreme amount, so some people take the little caps off and stir them instead of shaking them. Okay, you don't have very much working time, so you need to be fast. Here goes. Okay. Already setting up, so I don't think that was the right temperature water. This will be interesting. All right, wish me luck. Now pull the paint away. Oh, I didn't do that right. Look, it's not sticking to it at all. Anyway, it's different. It didn't get into my little creases. I should have maybe rolled it around. Problem is now it's kind of permanent. Well, I might be able to wipe it off with mineral spirit. I don't like all this air bubbles. And remember, I couldn't really find a varnish that would go over this very well. So that was a bummer, and I'm still not sure what to do, because I think this would need kind of sealed. Well, right now, I think that's very ugly. Maybe I will like it better later. Okay, I warmed it up a little bit. Yeah, so let's do silver first. I'm wondering if this silver is kind of crappy. Makes me not want to put this in there. Maybe I'll test it on the bottom. Let's give that a whirl. We'll go at an angle. Wow, that looks awful. Yeah, that looks really bad. I'm gonna go wipe this off. I like the way it looks wiped off. I have to say, I'm very disappointed. So I'm going to try the bottom without metallic and see what happens there, because I think we got something weird going on. Better, so I guess we won't use metallic for now. All right, let's do the bottom of this one. I'm just not good at this today. Looks really cool though. Okay, that, other than some air bubbles, was a success. Cool, I like that one. We'll let those dry, and then we'll deal with the other side again. See if we can salvage anything from any of that. And I'm not going to do this one right now. Here's the Prang. Let's go ahead and do the top. And the way this one turned out over here with the light blue and the dark blue, I like that. So I'm going to do that for the top. This top is still just kind of a disaster, and it's still sticky. So yeah, something was wrong with that whole batch. Ooh, pretty. One thing I wish we could perfect was this whole air bubble situation that these always tend to have. Look. Other than air bubbles. Nice. Definitely amateur, and I need to find a way to seal it. Maybe some liquid epoxy like we were talking about, which I still haven't ordered. I don't know about this guy. Might want to wipe him with, because it's been a while for the top of this one. Anyway, I might want to wipe him with some mineral spirits and see if he can be redeemed or not. Maybe just do another dip. I mean, it's already kind of like ruined as far as colors, so let's go all in. Let's go all ruined. What a disaster. What a mess. Big fat mess. Ooh, okay. Other than my errors, that one's okay. And all the air bubbles, which really annoy me. Probably dipping it wrong or something. Like maybe there's a method you're supposed to use. Like maybe you go like that. Maybe you twist it. I don't know. I have these Niji watercolors just hanging out in my watercolor drawer, and I think I have 3 packages of them, and I need to just get them out and use them. And I really like using them wet, but I'm going to, do the classic mistake thing and put them in pans and see what happens. So that's my plan. I've got all of these here colors. Plus I have more, but these are the ones I want to use because these are small little palettes, and I'm going to fill that empty one with 12 or so of these colors. You can see how they're liquid in there. And we're gonna just go for it. Just to make sure that I wasn't wasting my time with this brilliant idea, I went ahead and pulled out the carmine and squeezed some in here, even see if it would harden and if it would re-wet. Let's try re-wetting. Looks like it is re-wetting just fine. Granted, it's only 1 day old. I decided I could safely proceed with my plan and put all of the paints in full pans, and I wasn't going to fill them up this far, but it didn't leave enough paint left in the little tubes to make it worth filling them up less and keeping the tubes. I thought it would just dry out in the tubes, and I was able to use the little stickers on the jars to put on the sides of these. Out of my original set of 50, I believe, of these full pans, I have this single one left after filling those, so I know I have bigger sets in my drawer of these. So I was curious if there was a color in here that maybe I wanted to put in this 13th and only lonely pan and add to my little palette over there. Well, if we add one more, which one should it be? You guys vote. Here are the colors. Which one would you put in this empty 13th pan? Once I get all your votes, I will do it, and I'll add it to that little palette. This is paper I received in a subscription box. It's the Strathmore watercolor paper, cold press, and I didn't like it at all, but I want to try it as like my cheap paper, so I pulled a sheet out. Okay, so the textured side's the back, and this smooth side is the front. So anyway, I'll be using that just to swatch them, and then I wanted to compare them because I'm infinitely curious all the time to arches, so I'll be cutting out a swatch sheet from this. I want to keep the swatching in the video because that's a really fun part of most videos, but I did go ahead and speed it up by 1000% just because it took a very long time and I didn't want to bore you. So here's a really good example of the difference in these papers. You probably saw that as it was going on the arches. It kind of just absorbed in and acted right, did what it's supposed to do. And this, it's just sitting on the surface and looking yucky. Paper, little bit important. Can we just say wow for a minute? This paper is so bad. And these paints really bring out the badness in it. They're still a little wet, but Oh my gosh, you saw as they were going on, they're streaky. It's like they're just sitting on top of the paper. It's awful. So I think this stresses even more that if you're using a lower quality watercolor paint, then the paper is really going to save you, because these look really, oh, here we go. These look really pretty on arches, and they went down with the brush pretty nicely. I think the only one I was kind of disappointed in was the burnt sienna, but what a difference. Like, put these side by side there, and just, especially in the blues, and well, you know, in all of them, look at the greens. Just different paper. Wow. Here are the swatches from the slightly different angle, and I can tell you right now that I will be using Arches paper to test out a little painting with these, because this was miserable just doing the swatch sheet, let alone a whole painting. So I know that I would absolutely hate the paint if I did it on Strathmore 400 series, but that I might actually have a decent painting experience if I used my Arches paper. Now that I'm all sad and depressed about how these went, we should definitely go paint with super cheap watercolors. I'm sure that'll make us feel better. Yep, I'm being sarcastic. Oh, so sad. I could not find the appliance white. I have no idea where my son put it. I absolutely cannot believe this. I actually found my sheet magnet. Like, I don't even know if I knew where this was before we moved, and I went to like the third place I looked and found it. These are just the magnets that used to come on phone books. You can see here. I'm gonna score tape one on and just see what I think of that. All right, here we go. It's still pretty movey. That's my own word again, move-y with a Y. Definitely sticks like that. That works, but does this work because of all the divots and jiggers? Oh, it does. Okay, let's switch one of these just for a second to see, like, if I put it there, what would it be like? I got some red on my brush apparently. That stays. Okay, all right, we're doing this. We're doing the magnets. Wow, wow. Look at this. Look at this. I am such a pro at cutting things straight. Not like, will this even work? It's so crooked. I guess. Wow. And look at this. Look at what's left. Like, that is a very curvy edge. So I'm going to try and make a straighter cut. Okay. Yes, I did go to grade school and learn how to cut. Oh my gosh. So they all have their magnets on them, and the only problem, which really isn't a problem because this can just slide wherever, is that that little tiny bit of extra height doesn't really allow for this pan to slip under that lip right there anymore. And without that pan being able to go under that lip and this one under this lip, I can't get the white scooted over here where I had it. It's fine right here. I can't put a long brush in here anyway. And you can see it does survive the shake test, so that was pretty impressive, especially because those magnets were so thin, so I'm impressed. And now it's time to use them. I'm going to sketch a little apple. This side will be Niji, this side will be Prang. I'm going to do an experiment. When I messed up and had a little bit of yellow ochre on this cobalt blue, I went back in and kind of scrubbed it out, and the paint literally just kind of fell off the paper. I think this paint is going to lift off really well. So my experiment is I'm going to just paint. There's a little highlight right here. I'll just try and lift that off later and see what happens. Just something magical about arches. I'm going to paint right over my stem too. That's a nice vibrant color. That's kind of what I felt like the first time I used these were nice and vibrant. So I put a little black in this mix, and I'm really afraid to use it because the last time I used the black out of this, it kind of grayed out the painting. It made it chalky, and the rest of the painting looked decent except for that. Like, that's the color I need, but I don't want to use it because I don't want that to happen again. I'll try some different things. Very deep green. Yeah, we're gonna go with the green. I like it a lot. So we'll come back on this one and do some highlights, but not yet. See what we can do for lifting on this one. Lifted, not great. Yeah, I think even with this paint you should reserve your whites. Actually worked better on the Prang. In this camera it's looking really yellow, but in person that looks really white. Yeah, I don't like it. And once again, they are never the same. They never turn out the same. Well, we used some old palettes, made new, did a lot of experimentation and crazy stuff, and had some failures. But Niji paint, way easier to work with than the Prang, surprisingly. I don't know why. It just felt like it went on better, smoother, more pigmented than the Prang. So that's interesting. I don't mind painting with it at all, at least on good paper. And I will probably pull it out when I'm maybe doing my watercolor coloring books or something like that. Super quick apples to apples. Well, I tried to make the best out of a disappointing situation, and I did have a lot of fun painting those apples. It's just fun putting paint on paper regardless. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you like the content on my channel. We'll see you in a few days. Instead of scraping them, I'll just put the whole thing in. No, just kidding. Wondering about my life's choices here. I went ahead and squazzed. Oh, the decisions I make in life. We should definitely go paint with super cheap oils. Oils? Well, anyway, getting distracted. I'm easily distracted. It's okay. I chose this. I chose to put myself through this. Make up your mind. Hope I don't regret it. Where'd the piece go? Oh, they stuck to my scissors. Put my finger in it again. I don't even remember the point of this video.